In this video, we will create this live portfolio in Excel. All the prices, charts, and all data are being updated live. So you can change a stock on the fly, and it will bring back the live data. You can also sort the table by any column you like, for instance, the biggest change of the day. I have done another video on how to build a more complex live portfolio, but this time I wanted to simplify to the max so you can get started straight away. So we will build this together from scratch. The only restriction is you need Excel 365, sorry. Let's get this tutorial underway. Now, I have already drawn a table framework here, so I will walk you through the headings. So this is what we will be building today. And here on the left, it's just a list of stock that I have pre-selected. And what's important to notice is that there are stocks, but there's also ETF, exchange traded funds, if you don't know about those. So XLK, for instance, it's one of those, and SPY, it's one of those. So it's just to show you that it works with both, but there are less things that we can do with ETF, obviously, because ETF company doesn't do financial reporting as thorough. Now, okay, so if you want to draw this table first, if you want to do this tutorial with me, in the first column here I have the description, and the ticker is here, so there's a reason for that. So let's start with the description. The description is what we Microsoft Excel 365 will be using to retrieve the stock online and live. People often ask me, is it live? Yes, it's live. When it works, it's live. And there's a disclaimer that often occurs on top here. Financial market information is provided as is. Obviously, they don't want to take any risk. So if you could just at least do this and have a list of stock and ETF, I'm just going to show you how it works. So you just pre-select those. I'm just taking all of them at once. You go under data, and under data you click on the data types, you click on the stocks data type. Just going to click on it, and with a little work it will work from the start. So there's always one that doesn't want to cooperate. In this case here, OP. So sometimes it's under different trading exchanges, like here, for instance, he wanted me to select which one. He doesn't know which one to pick, so I'm just going to take the NASDAQ one, just going to press select, and it's done. It's selected. So you've seen that it retrieved the full description. Unfortunately, it's not very attractive. It's all caps, but that will have to do. So I'm just going to use this in a description. Now, this will be the basic for most of the elements that I will put in a column. Just to show you how it works. So you click on one, for instance, here I'll click on OP Bank Corp, and there is a little symbol here. When I click on it, it gives me a list of properties, if you want, that I can use. And it will put them in a cell that is just on the right-hand side. So, for instance, you could have the price, you could have the change, and we'll use some of those. Not all of those, but obviously the sky's the limit. And PE, that's an example of something that is available for stocks, but not for ETFs, and we understand why. And the like. So the first one is a ticker that I want to retrieve. So this is where I had a ticker on the right hand side here, ticker symbol, and I double click on it, and it brings me back the symbol here. So I'm just going to center everything, and if I drag that down, it will do the same for every stock that I have or ETF that I have. Now, when you look at the symbol here, it's just, when you look at the formula, it refers to the cell, and in between brackets, it has the name of the field. And that would be useful for us to build this once we want to input a column that is not directly on the right-hand side. Because here, if I want to add another one, for instance, instrument type, it puts it just at the right of this. And this is not what I want. I want to put something else here. So here I want to put the 12-month chart. So I will leave it as it is. Here I want a price now. So I just press equal. And I'm just going to position my cursor and click on this cell here, and here I can choose again. That allows me to retrieve data without being on the right, just on the right hand side of that data type. And here I'm just going to select price now, price, and I'm just going to tick, and it's going to give me the price. So it's live. But here the market is closed at this time of day, so you won't see big change here. The date change also, I believe it's something that we can retrieve, date change. So change in dollar value and change in percentage. So that's done. So I'm just going to click on the top left, and I'm going to put everything in the center to make sure that I don't do that too often. So this is done. What I wanted to do is a volume and a volume average as well. That's something that is often used for traders. You could have a drop in price, but if the volume doesn't follow, it's not as strong a signal, or vice versa. And, you know, you could have a very high volume, and that's a strong signal. So I'm just going to retrieve the volume here. Volume. Let's get the volume here, and they give you the volume average, which I think is quite good. So volume average here. Okay, so this is the first calculated cell that we have. This one will be a chart, but this one will be the first calculated one. So what I want to check is how far we are from the average of the volume. So I'm just going to divide this per this, and I'm going to remove one, and this will give me a percentage. I'm going to convert this into a percentage. And for instance, here we see we are 16% under the average. So I'm just dividing this per this, and I just subtract one. Now I can get the market cap as well, same process, market cap. If I can find it, market cap, some impressive ones. And the tab, so I just wanted to highlight the tab because, you know, arguably you could put it beside the ticker, but we assume you know what the tab is. And I just wanted to show you the type. Where is the type? Instrument type here. Okay, now let's drag all this down. Oops. Okay, so there's a one at the NVIDIA. I know it's done some AI work lately, but this is it really the market cap? Anyway, I could remove some of those, but for the moment, I'm just going to leave it there. Okay, so we have a stock and we have ETF. So what's the difference? Apart from the obvious one that I'm sure you're aware of, like I wanted to demonstrate, like if I take a stock, IBM, I take a stock here, and I go under IBM, and if I want to take the PE, I can. There's no problem. There's the PE here, so it's going to give me the PE. But for an ETF, for instance, obviously there's no PE, so you try and get it and you cannot find it. So that's because it's an ETF. So that's just what I wanted to show. Now I'm just going to put back the type. Okay, so we have all this, and we'll worry about the formatting later on. Now, the next step is to put the 12 months chart. So in order to do this, I'm just going to go to another tab. And here there are some very clever ways to, I mean, I could do a transpose of this. I'm just going to do a quick transpose just to get us started. But I think it's going to be better to do it all that manually. If I do a transpose of this, so I don't have to go back and forth between the two, that's just going to put me something vertical into horizontal. But now I need to take it, and I need to paste it as a number only. So and then now I can get rid of this. So all that work just so that I don't have to go back and forth. But I will have to go back and forth at some stage. But that's manual work that has to be done only once. So that's okay. I'm happy with this. I was thinking about some clever ways to do that automatically, but sometimes doing it manually it's just much faster on the long run. especially when those are once-off work. So here I'm adding a blank because I want to retrieve data, and the data that I want to retrieve holds on 2 columns. Now, what I want to use a Microsoft, and actually, I think this is also for all the version of Excel. So even if you don't have 365 and you haven't dropped out of this tutorial yet, you might be able to use this. It's called Stock History, and I'm just going to click on FX here to show you what are the components that we need to input. The first one is a stock. So for the stock, easy. Now that I have it here, I can just select it this way. The start date and the end date. So this is where it's a little bit tricky. What I'll be doing as the end date, I just went until today, and I'm using the Excel function today with brackets, so that means today's date. And here, just going to do today minus 365. Because this way that's going to give me the full year. And as an interval, I can choose between daily, weekly, and monthly. And you could argue weekly might be better for an annual one. But with the type of chart I want to use, I really like the daily one. We'll see. So header a logical value, but if one header or not. So I'm just going to put 1. I want to see some headers here. It stays busy for a while, and after it brings me back, and it brings me back under 2 columns. So this is why I had to leave this space between each one of those. Now this is it. So it's quite big. It brings me all the close. So unfortunately it doesn't bring back the adjusted close. So it's just the close here. Okay. Now, I just want to check how low it goes, 256. So that must be the amount of working days there is. So if I just copy this and I paste it here, it should retrieve the same for McDonald's here, because I'm referring to the cell above. And I'm using constants, quote-unquote constants in this, because I have today minus 365 and I have today. So if I just copy and paste here all the way, and actually, now I can just take a few of those and do it a little bit more brutally here. It should bring me all that happily. Here doesn't want to for some reason. Let's have a look. Okay, I was just thinking about it. Okay, it is retrieving a lot of data, so I'm just going to tidy that up. So this is behind the scenes, so this doesn't need to be clean. Okay, well, we have a lot of information here. Now, I want to create the chart, and I want to put it here under the Portfolio tab. In order to create a chart, I have 2 ways. I could just go here directly and refer to the data here, but I'm just going to do it this way, so it might be a bit more visual for training purposes. So how do I do this? I could, I don't want to create a chart. I want to use Sparkline instead. So if you don't know about Sparkline, maybe you should, because it's quite good when there's a lot of data and you want to give a high-level view without having to worry about charts. So here it's called a Sparkline, and you put insert and then line, colon, or win. So we can try the line and the colon and see which one suits best for us. Now, it's a bit like chart. You need to select the data first. So I'm selecting all the data here. I'm just going at the bottom, and I'm doing an insert, and I'm just going to start with a line. And it asks me, where do you want it? Well, I want it here in the cell here. Okay, so here I've selected the date. So I'm just going to copy it and put it here instead. Okay. That's it. So I was not thinking here. So this is the chart 12 months. So I don't know about you, but I think I would prefer to see it on the, you can press on the sparkline tab here. I would prefer to see it as columns. And you see that now that we have daily, it shows some nice detail, and I like it as well. So that's something that that is quite useful. And the advantage of a sparkline, it's like a cell. You can do a copy and paste as well. So here I'm going to do it, and it doesn't matter here if it looks a bit squishy, and because we'll be putting that somewhere else. I'm going to go all the way. This is a manual part I was saying. It's to be done only once, so we're okay with this. So what I could have done is just put here, do the same thing here, insert sparkline here, colon sparkline, and it would ask me the data range, and I would have to go here, and I would just select everything here, which would have been okay as well. But I've decided to show you maybe also the other way. So what you can do now is you can cut this, Control X, do a Control X, and then you paste it here. So here, and it would bring everything back automatically. I found that a little bit easier. This is the manual work that I was mentioning that you're gonna have to do. So I'm just gonna do the manual work now. Okay, so now this is done. So we have our data, we have everything. We just need to do a bit of formatting. I think this is quite good when it works. When Microsoft is up and running with this link to the stock market, then it works beautifully. Now I'm just going to show you. Obviously, it's a matter of taste. I'm just going to show you how I've decided to format this. For some reason, there is a green that I couldn't find that I wanted to use that I couldn't find anywhere else. So I've decided to go for a specific theme here. So I went to under the page layout color, and I selected the green theme here. And here I've just for the heading, I've just selected this strong green here, the first green actually from the left, and I've decided to put a white font here. So this is the basic that I had. And I believe also for this, I'm just going to the sparkline, and the sparkline color, I've selected the same green, I believe. So this is the way I've done it. I'm just going to remove the grid while I think about it, removing the grid. And all this, I'm just going to actually convert it as a table, which is something I don't really like to do usually, but you'll see there's a couple of views in this. Here I put format as table, and I take a medium table here, this one for instance, and I say yes, my table has headers. You need to tick this if you want to have the benefits, and we are more or less it. So this is it. I'm just going to press Control F1 so we have the whole table on one. If I can do it, the whole table here. Okay. Now this is it. So I think that one of the advantages, and actually you could, before we I could have some grids even. I think I was hoping the table would give me grids, but it didn't. So I just would like to bring some grids in. I'm going to go under more borders, and I'm going to put a pillar grid here and see if it works. Yeah, I think it works a little bit better. Now, the advantage of having a table is that we can sort. We can sort by what we want to sort. For instance, if you want to know what is the biggest volume here, what is the biggest volume from smallest to largest, what was the biggest volume of the day, you can do it. Now, there's something else I would like to do is, I don't like this date change this way, so it's just give me in bracket. So I'm just going to do a right click, I'm going to do under format cells and the number, I don't want this one, so I'm going to have to create my own. And this is the accounting that it has. So number, that's it, is changed it. And I'm just going to try and get the red. Can you give me the red as well, please? This red here. Yes, it gave me the red. Now I just need to do the same with this. I just want to have this turn red as well. Format cells, and I think I'm just going to have to yes, it doesn't have one ready for me, so in this case I'm just going to go back to the conditional formatting and highlight cells that are less than 0. I will just put less than 0. And I don't want to full on, I'm just going to do the custom format. I'm just going to put the font in red. Okay. I'm going to do, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to select everything here, all those, and I'm just going to change from the black to the green as a default value. So here I just will put the green here. Yes, this could actually benefit from having some, okay, to having some bold, maybe just to be consistent, could become some bold. Okay, we're talking about fine tuning here, but now I can select one of those and I just do a format painter and I select all this. So now the volume difference, I don't need the decimals, so I'm just going to remove the decimals. This, do I really need the decimals? I might just leave one. Just click on this. And this is pretty much it. I just think that it's quite good for Microsoft to provide us with this. As usual, they try to keep up with Google, which provide this. The Google version is even better because you don't have to go through all this. And the sparkline here, when you go under Edit Data, you cannot put a formula here. I would have liked to put the stock history here. I think that would have been very elegant. But unfortunately, this is not provided at this stage. Microsoft, if you're listening to this, please do it for next time. We appreciate your work. Okay, so I hope that was useful and talk to you in my next video.